So HHN 32 is quite a polarizing year. We had some new setups, new ideas, a new icon, and some people loved it, some people hated it. And that's why I asked you all for your
HHN 32 hot takes.
And boy, did you all deliver. Now, some of you didn't, maybe you didn't know what a hot take is, but today's first lesson is, what is a hot take? Now, just what is a hot take? Well, a hot take, gotta make sure this is on right. I want to aim just right. So a hot take, in my opinion, is something that is the opposite of what everyone is saying. So take, for instance, last year, if most people said Stranger Things was the best house, and I said a HHN hot take of mine was one of the worst houses I've done in the past couple of years, that would be a hot take. If you were to say something like, I don't know, Dr. Oddfellow is a better icon than any of the past HHN icons we've had, that is what a hot take is. And now that you know, when I ask in the future for this year's hot takes, you'll kind of know what to base it upon. First up, we're going to be reading the ones on our YouTube community post. If you do not know what I'm talking about, it's right under our page community tab. We post about 2 to 3 times a week. I try to give you guys some variety in there. Definitely check it out if you've never been over there. I don't post everything there on other social media platforms, so stuff is over there, so definitely check it out. Because there is so many hot takes, I am not going to read the names. It would take forever and my mouth would be like a desert. Zones this year were lacking compared to the last couple of years. Yeah, I agree with that. One of my favorite years, lots of great memories, can't wait for this year's. I mean, you did say one of your favorites, not one of the best, so I can't disagree or argue with that one, so glad you enjoyed it. I totally agree with everything that was said. We do need another show. Hopefully we get another show. Their idea, I guess, of like bringing in Diagon Alley with the Death Eaters was going to kind of hopefully draw away crowds, and it did. Diagon Alley wasn't empty this year. It was very much fun over there. But yes, Oddfellow needed more. On my ranking, the 6 originals, which I'm including Monsters, were 1 through 6, and the IPs were 7 through 10. So the original houses this year were far superior than the IPs. I agree with that. Darkest Still was fantastic. Yeti, even though I'm not the biggest fan, I still thought it was a fun house. Dueling Dragons, yes, and yes. Far better than Stranger Things and Last of Us. This year was better than HHN 20. That's my extremely hot take. This year was my 3rd year attending in a row, and it was the most lackluster. Yeah, I mean, no one, I think, would disagree with that. I don't think even a person would say the movie was better than the house. No. And the rest of it, yes, I agree. Zones were probably the worst at the event in over a decade, but Jungle of Doom was cool. I mean, Jungle of Doom was a Central Park scare zone. Nothing different than what we've seen in the past. I mean, sure, the creature creation is really top notch, the mask and stuff. And I thought it was really a cool touch with Oddfellow finding the skull. That was a fun experience to see that. Other than that, it's a Central Park zone. It's, you know, it's what we've had before. But I do agree the zones were probably the worst I've experienced in a while. I just found myself being like, I don't know. I don't want to stay in one zone. I just want to keep walking, as opposed to like, let me stop and stare around. I probably ended up more time in Vamp 55 just staring at all the different characters and their interactions than any of the zones, and I really hated Vamp 55. 6 Billion, he is a content creator as well. He talks about Halloween Horror Nights. He did like a massive like house rankings of all the houses he's ever been, so check out him. I will put a link down in the description box if you enjoy some more horror content. Shipyard 32 was the best in years. Now, are we talking best in that area, best scare zones overall? That's quite a hot take. It's hot on the level. Chucky Ultimate Kill Count is the best house in Fast and Furious show building. No. Didn't care for the food booth options. Be back in a few weeks because Mardi Gras eats are nice. I mean, I guess I agree, a lot of the food, a combination of things. So it was like sandwiches or like concoction of like a bread type of thing where you had the corn dog or the hot dog or the, you know, a pizza. So a lot of bread at this last year's event. I don't know if that was like some sort of play on anything, but it was a lot of bread. Last of Us was not worth the wait. Agreed. That's why I think I ended up doing it twice, maybe 3 times the entire season that I went. Too many photo op zones. Now, do you mean there was too many people in the zones taking pictures, or do you mean just like actors performing with photos? Or I need a little context here. Let's take a brief intermission, and I need some water before we go to Instagram, which, if you didn't already know, we are on Instagram. It is ZombieCT. We post almost every other day or so on there, and we do different content on there. Sometimes we'll post a short or some type of video that we don't do here on the channel, so definitely check it out. And by the way, this is the second time I'm filming this video. Much better this way than the first time. See how it was? And now you see how it is. A little bit different, better. Ooh, all right, we are back. Need a water break there. Yeah, I agree. That would have been cool if they could do something like that. I think they get more hate because people have this perception of, when you think of Last of Us, Stranger Things, they get their idea in their head of, this is how it should be. This is what I'm thinking the house is going to be. And when you go into the house and you walk out going, that ain't it. The reality of what the house is just don't mash. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do puppets. I mean, they've done them in the past. They could have done more with dragons, but that is Dreamport. If you've never watched one of his videos, where have you been? Link down in the description box. Definitely check him out. Does a lot of great informative videos about Halloween Horror Nights, as well as like theme park history and the lore of stuff. So definitely check out his channel. For me, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's bad runs. I think it's the scare factor was just kind of repetitive. Set design, yeah, I agree. Excellent. Not gonna acknowledge that one. That's not a hot take. And Lash, you of all people should know a hot take. And these are, I guess, good ideas, your hot takes, but they're not relating to Halloween Horror Nights 32, so sorry. Yeah, I could definitely see that. They did feel like they were missing something, and I thought about this quite a lot. Like, what was it missing? I don't know, something different, because all the zones besides Vamp felt like they were just the same zone, just spread out. No, bad, Jake, bad. Finally, good take. Finally, someone has said what I've been thinking over and over, especially all the times that I went last year and I stood around in that zone trying to decipher what is it about the zone that I am not getting. Again, thank you. Yes, finally, I'm not the only person that thought that. Like I said earlier, I agree with the whole bread thing. The food all seemed kind of similar. So yeah, I agree. Maybe there was a variety of like different types of foods. Underwhelming. That is, ooh, that's a strike. Those are some fighting words right there. Yes, wow. Such a big house. It got like the parade building. It was a huge house. Am I the only one that thought it was pretty long and the sets were big? But if you replaced the mushroom people, or the sorry for not knowing the names, but if you replace them with, I think, walkers or zombies, you would have just thought it was a Walking Dead house. And finally, we are on to our last two. Express kind of suck, especially on Oddfellow. And I don't know, I didn't have Express last year, so I'm not too sure of how it was. If some people enjoyed it, they felt fine, or they felt like that. So maybe. And that Oddfellow line is awful either way you look at it. It's awful for Standby and it's awful for Express now. Probably one of the most interesting hot takes, because I don't know if it has or not. It's a very good thought. I would love to see the data on this of how many people has purchased that ticket since it was available, versus pass holders, versus people that brought like 3-day package tickets and they're coming down for like a 2-week trip and they're doing Horror Nights multiple times, but then they're also doing the studio dayside, versus the people that just brought the ticket. Most people are like locals. So I don't know anybody that really has purchased just that single ticket to just get in early for Stay and Scream. But I'd be interested. And has Stay and Scream overall ruined Horror Nights? Well, it is clear that you guys had some polarizing ideas. Most of you did not like The Last of Us, and most of you thought the scare zones were very lackluster. But that leads us to HHN 33, and we can only hope that's going to be a fantastic event. And if you want to check out our speculation on that event, click this video to find out what could be coming to Halloween Horror Nights 33. Peace out, everybody.